Among Us was the breakout game of 2020, with thousands of streamers and YouTubers flocking to it. And one of these YouTubers was known as I Am Wildcat. And in this video, I'm going to explain 3 ways how Wildcat is keeping Among Us alive. And make sure you stay till the end, so you can see how Wildcat is a genius. Before we immediately jump into the reasons, I think some background information on Among Us is needed to help us fully understand how Wildcat is saving it. Among Us was released in June of 2018 as a newer version of the classic party game Mafia or Werewolf, depending on who you ask. It received decent success for an indie game, but its real breakthrough came in late August of 2020, when popular streamers and YouTubers began to play the game in masses. We can see the popularity of any game from a service that Google supplies to everyone for free, called Google Trends. On Google Trends, one can check how often something is searched within a specific time period. Thanks to Google Trends, we can see that Among Us had low searches for its first 2 years, until it started picking up traction in August of 2020. Now, why am I telling you this? Well, like I said, Among Us had a huge hype in the latter half of 2020, when many content creators decided to hop on the hype train to enjoy the spoils of a fun new game. But like all things, the hype only lasts so long. Aww. Once hype for a game dies and the content creators get bored of a game, it typically stops attracting new players, which in turn starts a slow decline in active players. And this decline continues until something new gets added to the game to spark interest again. Some companies like Epic, Mojang, and Rockstar keep releasing updates for their games so they can guarantee players keep on playing. The big difference between those companies and Innersloth, the company that made Among Us, is that Innersloth is only 3 people. You heard me right. The game that captivated millions of people and reignited the social deduction genre was made by only 3 people. Which means that logistically, they don't have the manpower to pump out updates on a monthly basis like Epic and Mojang. And since Innersloth hasn't released any updates since early October, Among Us is losing huge amounts of players according to Steam charts. In fact, the average amount of players has dropped from 176,000 players in October to only 19,000 players as of March 15th, since no update has been released to re-spark interest in it. Which now brings us to Wildcat. So now that we have the background information, let's go into how Wildcat is keeping Among Us alive. And make sure you wait till the end because you guys will be shocked at the final reason. The first reason for why Wildcat is saving Among Us is that he produces enjoyable content. Although this sounds like a no-brainer, it is essential for keeping an audience. If content creators don't produce content worth watching, then no one will want to watch their videos, and Wildcat produces some of the most entertaining content there is.
Come on, Brian. It'll be okay. Come on. It's gonna. Oh, who did it?
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna do. Well, let me do my task. Wait a second, please.
Him and his friends' humor are so in tune that creating hilarious situations comes naturally to them, and this isn't a new thing for him. You could go far back into Wildcat or his friends' back catalog and find videos from 6 years ago that still hold up to today. Games that have a lot of content being made about them tend to attract a larger player audience. I mean, look at this chart for searches of Among Us according to Google Trends. The game was released in June of 2018, yet the fanbase for Among Us didn't start till a few big content creators decided to give the game a try. Once they tried it, then the fanbase started to grow. The next reason that Wildcat is able to keep Among Us relevant is that he is a genius at hitting trending on YouTube. Almost every time, without fail, that he uploads a video, it hits trending within a few hours. For those who don't know, YouTube created an algorithm whose goal is to recommend videos that are perfectly tailored to a user. When the algorithm finds a video that it thinks everyone will enjoy, the videos are then added to trending so that more people can see it. For a video to hit trending, it has to have 2 things: a high CTR, or click-through rate, and a high average watch time. Those 2 metrics are what tell YouTube that 1, people like this video, and 2, that it should be recommended to more people. By Wildcat hitting trending, every time he uploads a video, that video gets pushed to a wider audience, which helps keep the people engaged in Among Us. Just to show how easily he gets on trending, I went on to trending every single day while making this video to see if he was on there, and he was on there every single time he uploaded a video. That's how consistent he is. Reaching a wider audience is especially important now because the peak of Among Us was on November 3rd. After the peak is when games usually start to slowly decline in popularity. So him being able to consistently reach a wide audience helps keep Among Us popular. The third and final reason in which Wildcat is saving Among Us and that separates him from other YouTubers playing Among Us is his use of mods. He has hired a group of people to create mods for him and his friends to play. Some of the mods he has played with include a witch, an assassin, giving claymores to imposters, playing with Mario Kart items, playing upside down, even converting into Minecraft, with a ton more variations. Mods add freshness to Among Us, which is what the game so desperately needs. The thing that makes games have longevity in today's world is being able to keep the game fresh. Mods are able to create a new way of playing Among Us while sticking to the core mechanics that made it so popular in the first place. People are so desperate for new forms of Among Us content that whenever Wildcat released a video after the November 3rd peak, the searches on YouTube for Among Us would spike up. Now, usually this would just be a coincidence, but if we look closer at this chart and put dots on all the dates he uploads, we start to see that almost every time he posts an Among Us video, the searches for Among Us just increase. Now, with all that information presented, this begs the question, is Wildcat keeping Among Us relevant? Well, according to this data, it seems to point that searches have a slight surge whenever he uploads. If Wildcat's videos are increasing searches, then it keeps Among Us relevant for another day. Well, with Among Us no longer owning the trending page, it is safe to say that the golden age of Among Us has ended, and most content creators are no longer riding the Among Us hype train, leaving a few creators like Wildcat to keep the Among Us content alive. So, let me know down in the comments on if you think Wildcat is keeping Among Us alive, and if you liked the video, please leave a like, subscribe if you would like more content like this. Peace, guys.
A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Walk up in the club with no ID. Hey, and she noticed me. We be in the back saying VIP. I said A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Walk up in the club with no ID. Hey, now your girl with me. Just for a minute, don't care, still